The story begins in the snowy Catskills region of New York during winter. 4 women arrive at a quiet, empty hotel to spend some time together. The group includes Ruthie Nod, her girlfriend Cal, their friend Maddie, and Maddie's partner, Fran. The hotel originally belonged to Ruthie's grandmother and later passed to her mother. Now, Ruthie and her mom have some plans for this place, which the film slowly reveals. Ruthie expected her mother to already be at the hotel because she had been living there. But the building was completely empty and her mother was nowhere to be found, which immediately worried Ruthie. The group came for a relaxing trip, but Fran's behavior was strange from the start, and Ruthie never liked her much. Maddie then explains that Fran recently recovered from cancer, which is why she acts differently. Ruthie goes to a room where she watches an old hospitality training video. A woman in a red dress is giving a presentation about hotel management. While she's watching, Cal joins her. Their conversation shows that Cal wants the 2 of them to reopen and run the hotel together. But Ruthie actually planned to sell the place. She hasn't made a final decision yet because of Cal. Everything seems normal at first. Later, the group goes for a swim and jokes about ghosts. Suddenly, a man named Brian shows up. Ruthie is not happy to see him. He used to date Ruthie's mother and came to meet her, but Ruthie insists her mother isn't there. Brian points out that her car is parked outside, so she might be in her room. Still, Ruthie tells him to leave, and he walks away without arguing. Outside, Brian checks the car, but it's locked, and he finds nothing unusual. Meanwhile, Maddie and Cal talk privately. Maddie admits she has feelings for Cal, and it's revealed that Ruthie once cheated on Cal. Even after that, Cal still wants to stay with Ruthie. Ruthie keeps texting her mother, frustrated that she hasn't replied. Later that night, Ruthie wakes up after hearing a noise. She goes downstairs and sees the main gate malfunctioning, opening and closing on its own. She finally locks it and goes back inside. While walking through the hotel, Ruthie thinks she sees someone dancing in the hall to her mother's favorite song. Believing her mom has finally arrived, she rushes in to hug her. But it's actually Fran. Both feel awkward, and Ruthie gets irritated. She turns off the music. Fran asks why she's awake and mentions seeing her wearing a medical mask earlier. Ruthie is confused and asks if Fran entered their room. Fran tries to get closer, and Ruthie angrily pushes her away. Fran gets a small cut on her leg. Feeling guilty, Ruthie cleans the wound, and Fran takes a few pictures of her. For a moment, the 2 seem strangely close. The next morning, Ruthie wakes Cal and tells her that her mother finally texted, saying she won't be coming. Both feel disappointed. They quietly wake Maddie without disturbing Fran, and the 3 head to the kitchen to make breakfast. When Fran wakes up alone, she gets nervous. She looks outside and sees 2 girls jogging. Downstairs, she suddenly sees people eating in the restaurant, even though the hotel has been closed for a long time. The guests seem unusual, and when Fran asks about Ruthie, no one responds. Then she notices a little girl with injured fingers. The girl calmly says, "Sometimes you can't feel your fingers." Disturbed, Fran backs away, and in the next moment, the entire area becomes empty again, as if no one was ever there. Fran becomes extremely frightened. It might be a hallucination, possibly caused by her cut and a slight fever. The other 3 women are in the kitchen when they hear Fran screaming. They rush to her and find her crying and terrified. She says she saw something. The others assume she had a bad dream, especially since they had talked earlier about past deaths in the hotel. Ruthie tells Fran they can call a car if she wants to go home. They think the medicine might be affecting her, and Fran feels embarrassed. Later, Ruthie leaves her mother a voice message asking her to stop texting and explain why she isn't coming. Ruthie also sees a girl jogging outside, which looks strange, but Fran distracts her. Ruthie wants to tell Fran that whatever happened last night meant nothing. Ruthie doesn't like her, while Fran clearly has feelings and even admits she tried Ruthie's mask. Ruthie tells her to stop entering their room. Fran's behavior starts feeling unpredictable. Cal arrives, and the two stop talking. Even Cal senses something odd. Fran asks if anyone has died here, maybe a young girl around 9 or 10 who had something happen to her hands. Cal is shocked and says something similar happened to Ruthie as a child. Her mother often left her with babysitters, but once Ruthie was left alone in the hotel during winter for 3 days with no electricity and no food. Her fingers got frostbite, and she almost lost 3 of them. Cal mentions that ever since Ruthie's mother talked about the hotel's will a few months ago, Ruthie has been acting different. From this, it's clear Ruthie's mother wasn't very kind, and Ruthie's childhood was likely difficult. The group doesn't treat the topic seriously. Later, at lunch, they sit together, and Fran again spots the same 2 joggers outside, but no one believes her. After some time, Ruthie goes upstairs, checks a few rooms, and stops at room 324. She holds the master key and hesitates, but before she can open the door, Cal arrives and asks why she's wandering around in the cold upstairs. Ruthie looks confused, so Cal takes her aside and starts asking questions. Cal also mentions Fran, saying Ruthie looks at her strangely and talks to her in odd ways. She says she's worried because Ruthie has been acting off ever since seeing her mother at the funeral, the part about when Ruthie's grandma passed away. Ruthie then reveals they had found a buyer for the hotel. Cal gets upset and tries to leave, but Ruthie stops her. She explains she never wanted to return here because she dislikes the place. She tried many times to tell Cal, but she still came because she loves her. Ruthie says she wants to keep an open mind, which is why she hasn't made any final decision yet. She admits she made mistakes in the past, but now wants to fix everything. Hearing this softens Cal, and the two spend some quiet, comforting time together. Ruthie often watched the video of the woman in the red dress alone. This time, the woman almost seemed to speak directly to her, warning that running a hotel could be the worst choice. It's unclear whether this is real, or simply Ruthie's mind trying to push her away from the place. The movie keeps things unclear, making you question whether the hotel is truly haunted or hiding deeper secrets, since more than one person sees strange things. While watching the film, it naturally reminds you of The Shining. While Fran is resting, she suddenly gets a text from Ruthie. "Come find me." She notices Maddie is gone and steps out to look for Ruthie. As she moves through the hotel, she senses something wrong. Seeing white liquid was flowing down from the walls and the ceiling, the 2 joggers again, and the same little girl. She becomes terrified. Fran finally reaches Ruthie's room, where Ruthie and Cal are asleep. Ruthie is wearing her mask. When she wakes up, she immediately takes Fran outside. Crying, Fran says the hotel stories are true and they must leave now, but Ruthie doesn't believe her. Fran then threatens to reveal something about Ruthie if they don't leave. Hearing the noise, Maddie and Cal arrive, and Fran continues acting the same panicked, unstable way in front of them. Fran keeps crying, insisting they all need to leave the hotel. The others think her cut may have caused a fever, and she's overreacting. Fran gets upset, and no one knows how to deal with her. Cal believes Fran just wants attention, especially from Ruthie. Ruthie then says she knows what to do. She goes to Fran and tells her, "We're all leaving." Fran immediately calms down and even apologizes to Cal, who still doesn't understand why. Before anyone can question anything, Ruthie tells everyone to pack their bags. They leave the hotel together. The next scene shows Fran waking up at a train station, realizing the others have abandoned her. Angry and hurt, she understands Ruthie, and the rest tricked her just to get rid of her. Meanwhile, Cal, Ruthie, and Maddie return to the hotel, happy that Fran is gone and they can enjoy their weekend. In the pantry, Maddie tells Cal she likes her and asks why she stays with Ruthie, who once cheated on her. Cal brushes the comment aside. Moments later, Brian arrives at the hotel again, likely searching for Ruthie's mother. He enters, calls out, and finds no one. Then he notices a girl in the hallway wearing a mask, holding a chainsaw. Brian thinks the masked girl is probably one of Ruthie's friends, so he ignores her and walks to the kitchen. But she suddenly starts the chainsaw and follows him. Before he can react, she strikes his arm, injuring his shoulder. Panicking, he tries to escape, confused about why she is attacking him. He hides, but she keeps searching for him. The movie doesn't show what happens to him next. Meanwhile, Ruthie sits in the bar, looking stressed. Maddie and Cal find her, and Ruthie nervously says Fran is back and they need to leave because she saw something frightening. Maddie jokes that maybe Ruthie feels guilty for abandoning Fran, or she's starting to see ghosts too. Maddie grabs Ruthie's phone and asks why she's always glued to it. She finds repeated "I love you" messages from Ruthie's mother, which seems odd. Ruthie quickly snatches her phone back. Her friends get irritated, and Cal tells her she's ruining the weekend. Ruthie then searches Fran online and finds Fran was once linked to a case involving her ex-girlfriend's death, though nothing was proven. Later, while Maddie is alone in her room, she hears a noise. When she checks, she sees the masked girl in another room. Thinking it might be Ruthie, Maddie turns to leave. But the masked girl grabs her hand and injures her. Hearing Maddie scream, Ruthie and Cal rush to her. Maddie's hand is badly injured, and she accuses Ruthie of doing it. Ruthie says she was on the other side of the hotel. She shows Cal her phone, claiming she found online that Fran might be a murderer, but the phone is completely off. Ruthie says the battery died and insists Fran is in the hotel, so they must leave. They pack to escape, but no cab is available. Then they all receive a video showing Ruthie treating Fran's injured leg. Maddie and Cal realize the truth. Cal breaks down, believing Ruthie cheated again. Ruthie blames Cal, saying she never wanted to return and only came because Cal insisted. She says she was confused and made a mistake. But they don't trust her anymore. Pretending to wait for a ride, Maddie and Cal lock Ruthie outside. Ruthie shouts for them to open the door, saying Fran is inside and they need to leave. She searches for another way in, but finds none. After a while, the door suddenly opens by itself. Ruthie steps inside, calling for Cal, but neither Cal nor Maddie is there. Instead, she sees a woman wearing a red dress, and this is the same woman whose videos Ruthie often used to watch on her phone. Ruthie is stunned to see her and asks why she's here. The lady says she's part of Ruthie's legal team, hired to help sell the hotel, and came to meet her. As they talk, Ruthie's lawyers arrive and say they've found a buyer and only need her signature. Ruthie refuses to sell, disappointing them. The lady sends them away. After they leave, she hugs Ruthie and says she trusts her. Ruthie tells her she looks like her mother, and the lady replies that if she were her mother, she never would have left her. Then she leaves, and Ruthie goes searching for Cal again, Meanwhile, Cal and Maddie are asleep. They wake to Ruthie screaming, run downstairs, and find Brian's body with Ruthie standing nearby. Thinking she killed him, Maddie tries to restrain her. They tie Ruthie's hands and lock her in a room. Ruthie yells that Fran did everything, but they don't believe her. Maddie says they should wait for the police. Inside, Ruthie sees the little girl again and panics. She runs into the bathroom, sees the same white liquid dripping, takes off her jacket, and lies in the tub. A moment later, Fran appears. Ruthie is terrified. Fran says she came back for her and pulls her out of the tub. To protect Cal, Maddie runs in with the chainsaw, but it won't start. She throws it aside and tells Cal to run. Ruthie picks up the chainsaw, and this time it turns on. This reveals the truth. The masked girl wasn't Fran at all. It was Ruthie the entire time. Ruthie chases Cal and Maddie down the road. They trip and fall, and Ruthie attacks them brutally. There are a few people nearby, but none of them notice anything, which adds to the film's strange, confusing tone. Ruthie then returns to the hotel. In one room, she sees Brian and her mother sitting together. When Ruthie approaches, her mom slams the door in her face and says she's busy. Ruthie looks shocked and wanders through the hotel in a daze. And this is where the film ends. Bad Things may look like a haunted hotel horror, but it's actually about a queer woman, Ruthie, whose childhood trauma, her mother's betrayal, and years of buried anger finally explode. By the ending, Ruthie has either physically or mentally destroyed everything around her. Yet, even then, her mother, or the memory of her, shuts the door in her face. This shows she's trapped forever inside the same painful hotel of her life. Ruthie was a deeply hurt person. As a child, her mother never took care of her, and now that her mother is gone, Ruthie refuses to accept it. It's also possible that Cal, Maddie, and Fran never existed the way we saw them. They could have been parts of Ruthie's imagination. The movie hints at this earlier. As a child, Ruthie was left alone in the hotel for 3 days, with no food and no electricity. That trauma may be the root of everything happening now. The film never gives 100% clear answers. It only leaves clues, and the rest is left for the audience to interpret.